I'm Jim Longworth, and welcome to a special edition of Triad Today. Over the next half hour, we'll salute UNCG athletics and meet some of the coaches, players, and administrators who've helped to bring Spartan sports into national prominence. We'll also tell you about the Spartans' campaign for champions. To get us started, let's watch this video.
I'm never going to claim to have all the answers, so I'll say it my own way. How about that? We're just ourselves. We're not salesmen. We just tell people who we are. I have no problem explaining that. We're really honest with young people about who we are, about the challenges here, about the great things that are going on here. And the biggest thing that we try to get across is that it's not going to be perfect every day, that it's going to be really difficult here. It's our job as a staff to push every young person in our program academically, socially, and obviously on the floor every single day. So we're really honest about who we are, and we want people that embrace the things that we value. It's less of a sell and more of just kind of an honest reality when we're sitting in the home with a young person and their family.
I do what I do because I'm passionate about the game of softball and all the opportunities that it gives to me. I love to see student athletes and players grow and develop doing something that they love.
I coach because it's a real desire to compete and ultimately to win and be around winners and take that pride in being the champion. The opportunity to be the best, and also then at the college level, seeing these young people grow, aspire to be great things. Probably some of the best times that I've actually experienced is years after someone graduates and they reach out to me. It's a young parent, so to see that change in them really motivates me.
Winning motivates me. Watching guys become better and improve, and in some cases become better than they thought they can be. And I think our job as coaches is to lead and push and develop these guys into high-level performers on and off the field.
So what motivates me? Taking a group of men and showing them that the impossible is possible.
We are surrounded by people that support us and people that want us to succeed. For those reasons, UNCG is such a special place to have a successful and rewarding college experience.
I do this because I want to compete daily, and I want to lead young people who also want to compete daily to be champions, to be the best, to be looked up to, and to be people who all their supporters are very, very proud of. That's why kids want to come to UNCG and play for the blue and gold.
Once you commit, our program instantly becomes better. You've bought into our culture of excellence, and we've bought into your abilities.
What's motivating me right now is our back-to-back conference championships.
It takes someone's personal dedication and hard work every single day, striving to be the absolute best, willing to make the sacrifices, and hopefully with a little bit of luck, somebody can wind up achieving that goal of being a champion. That's what it takes to be a champion.
You know, our institution's on the rise. UNC Greensboro is a special place to go to college. It's a special place to get an education. You know, I think this is somewhere that players can come and improve, can play a style of play that is exciting, a style of play that players want to play. We have the opportunity at UNCG to be on the national stage and to try to do things at the national level, and we're building a program here. And I think players want to be a part of something that they can get started and look back one day and be really proud that they were here when it got going.
We need you to be a champion.
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 Today, I was just sat down in the studio. I was thinking to myself, you know what I'd like is if a very successful athletic director from university would just walk in here and sit down and talk. I just thought, and you know it happened. And right next to me, she just walked in here, Kim Record, our good buddy, Director of Athletics for UNCG, my alma mater, although they don't claim me. And welcome back to the program.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here, and we have a lot of great things to talk about, and we are so glad that you're a Spartan. I love to hear that.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, you know, I know people might think, well, is she going to brag on herself? No, I'll do that in a minute. But let's take you out of the equation for a second. Just give me some highlights about all the programs, because a lot of people say, well, let me name a sport, I guess basketball. But you, give me an idea of how many sports we're talking about that are under your purview, and then some highlights of some of them.
Well, as you may or may not know, we have 17 sport programs, men's and women's. We play in the Southern Conference, which I like to remind people that both the ACC and the SEC grew out of the Southern Conference.
That's right.
So 220 student athletes, GPA, highest it's ever been is a 3.2. We give back 3,000 hours over the last couple of years in community engagement. And then certainly the gift that they bring, their diversity, is their talent in their sport. And over the course of the last couple of years, we've had 6 Southern Conference championships or appearances in the NCAA tournament. And for a student athlete, that is the pinnacle, to compete at the highest level.
Absolutely. The men's basketball program did well last year and with a big championship there. And then I think recently men's golf and women's soccer have done real well.
This year we have won the Southern Conference tournament, which gives you the automatic bid. It's always an exciting time when you're sitting there and you really don't believe it until you see your name up on the screen.
Yeah.
And so postseason championships, they also get rings, and rings are a big deal.
That's great.
And again, but I can't underscore that what is just as impressive, if not more, is their ability to manage that and be great student ambassadors too.
One of the things, I watched a video the other day, we're not going to see it right now, there's a special program about UNCG athletics, it'll be coming up next month, and we'll keep you posted on that where we can see the whole video. But I was watching part of it, Be a Champion, and it's talking at one point about this big fundraiser that you have going on. Tell me about that.
We are really excited. This is the first capital campaign that UNCG Athletics will be undergoing. We're actually a little bit ahead of the curve. The university probably will be making an announcement at some point in time, but ours is, we're calling it the 5 for 5 campaign for champions, commemorating those 5 championships, because that's the benchmark level we want to be in.
Sure.
And so it will be a combination of facility projects and then an endowment to sustain hiring and retaining great coaches.
But Kim, before time runs out, I'm just going to play devil's advocate. You're already doing you have all this great success. This is the part where I'm going to brag on you, and it's really in large part to you, and I'm going to pat you on the back for that. But you have all this great success. Why do you need new facilities? What's it going to make? What difference would it make?
Well, no difference than in private business. I mean, it's competition, and I don't like to call it keeping up with the Joneses, but at the same time, we make a promise when student athletes come on our campus to give them all of the tools to be successful, and that includes the infrastructure that they need to compete against other Division I programs. And so it's important that not only do we maintain, but we exceed what we already have on campus.
Sure. And again, as you alluded to earlier, great students, not just athletes, but great student athletes doing well in the classroom. And again, I attribute a lot of that to you and your coaches who do a great job. Up on screen, a couple things I want to put up there before I forget. UNCGSpartans.com is a good website to check out, UNCGSpartans.com, and also SpartanClub.org. You can check that out as well. But we want you to get involved, go see the games, support the university and the athletic program, and donate if you can. And I just congratulate you for all the success you've had, and you've done a great job.
Well, thank you very much. It takes a village, as you well know, and so there's a lot of teamwork that goes on that I get to lead, which is exciting.
Kim Record, thanks for just barging into the studio.
No
That's
problem.
just a big surprise. No, we invited her. That's right. We'll be right back. Now, on our special salute to UNCG Athletics, and we're very honored to have 2 gentlemen here who are part of a championship team. Let's explain it to you. They just won recently the SoCon Championship in men's golf. Next to me, Terrence Stewart, men's golf coach at UNCG for 18 seasons, I might add. And next to him, Jonathan Brightwell, who's a junior business major at UNCG. Welcome, gentlemen. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
And officially, congratulations again.
Thanks a lot.
That's your second straight championship, right, Coach?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Wow, that takes a lot of discipline. Now, Coach, I understand. Now, this sort of took me by surprise when I was reading this information about you, that you have golfers, made up a roster of golfers, and they all come from the state of North Carolina. Is that true?
Yes, sir, it is.
Now, why that strategy, and how has that allowed you to grow the program?
Yeah, the state is really blessed to have numerous quality student athletes. Golf is one of our state's hot sports, and when I got back here in 2001, which was a long time ago, I really didn't come in with any set strategy of this is how we're going to bring in our student athletes, but I mean, I found quickly, even within my first 6 months, that there were just a lot of really good national junior players right here.
That's right.
And it sort of created itself.
And Jonathan, where's your hometown?
I'm from Charlotte.
From Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
Now, Jonathan, how has the experience being on the golf team and also being just at UNCG, my alma mater, although they don't claim me, how has that experience impacted on you?
Oh, it's been terrific. I was never only a golfer. I grew up playing many sports, but Terrence took a chance on me coming out of high school, and I was no national player by any means.
Well, how young were you when you first started playing or picked up a golf club? Or?
I was fairly young. I always knew how to play. I would say 5 or 6 when I first
Was that
picked it
because
up.
you saw your dad or mom or somebody do it? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. My dad, my dad introduced it to me, but I was always a baseball and basketball player.
Yeah. Now, how do you plan to use your business degree after you graduate next year? Because you got one more year of golf, right?
Right. I'll be a
All right.
senior
After that,
next
what do you
year.
want to do with the degree?
Well, I'm not really sure, but I've met many people who love golf who are in business, and I'm doing business with a minor in sales. So
That's great.
hopefully incorporate both.
I mean, are you going to try to get on the PGA
Yeah,
Tour?
I
Is
would
that-
love to turn pro after I graduate. Yes.
Coach, how will the 5 for 5 fundraising campaign help UNCG athletics? Because we started off the program, or earlier on in the program, we talked to the athletic director, of course, and we mentioned it a little bit. From your standpoint, how will the fundraising campaign help your program?
Yeah, during my almost 20 years here, to see the entire athletic department grow, this is really one of the last big pieces that we need to help the entire department compete as a whole, just on that major Division I level.
But you're doing so great now. I mean, people at home might be watching and say, well, why do you need a fundraising campaign? You guys are winning championships.
Yeah. Well, for the entire department, to have a state-of-the-art athletic weight room, to have the proper academic center, is really going to be showpieces whenever we're trying to bring in the proper student athletes.
Right.
So
And they're students first.
Yes, correct. And it is a very, very exciting time, and can't wait to see what happens with this over the next 18 months.
I want to put something up on screen, a couple of websites we've been doing on and off during the half hour. One is uncgspartans.com, and the other is spartanclub.org. And those will be informational for you, and you also find out how you can help. And guys, I shoot probably 100 on the front 9. I'm wondering if you can use me next year. Why are you laughing? That won't
Because
work.
I've had some guys try out shooting that before, so it's probably not going to work.
I probably would have gotten cut pretty quick. I'm really proud of you guys, not just because it's my alma mater, but I'm proud of you. I think the whole state is proud of what you've been able to do with your program, Coach. Jonathan, good luck with the program next year.
Thank you.
And I just keep up the great work.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Back now in this special edition as we salute UNCG Spartan Athletics, and what a great program it is. And this time we're going to turn our attention to women's soccer. On my right are two very special people I want you to meet right now. On my immediate right, Heda Vidarsdottir, who is a native of Iceland and a member of the UNCG women's soccer team, and Michael Cole, head coach for women's soccer. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Michael, I want to start with you, if it's okay, and just basically ask how long you've been the head coach for soccer, women's soccer at UNCG.
I've been the head coach at UNCG since March of 2014.
Now, we won't go over all the statistics, but in general, I happen to know that you guys have had a great couple of years. How would you describe the success you've been having?
Well, it's been tremendously enjoyable, number one, and it's also been very good level of soccer. We get tremendous compliments from our fan base, liking the style of our play, and we are very entertaining.
And when you say style of play, and again, granted, I'm not an expert on soccer, but what makes it exciting, do you think, to a layperson?
Yeah, well, I think that to lay people, they want to see the ball played and it's pretty soccer, where there's a lot of connections on the field, and the ball is to feet all over. Some teams play a very direct style of soccer where the ball is in the air a lot. We play an indirect style of soccer where we're trying to combine from the defense to the midfield and maybe back to the defense again multiple times before we actually make attempts on goal.
Heda, what made you want to move from Iceland to play soccer at UNCG? Not that I'm running down our school because I'm an alumnus, but what made you want to make the move?
Well, I just thought it was a great opportunity to put soccer and education together. America just does a great job of putting those two together, which they don't do in Iceland. So I was actually through a friend that I got in contact with Cole. So it was luck really, and I'm just very lucky that I ended up here.
So he didn't just fly over there and knock on your door and you heard about him and came over here?
No, it was nothing like that. I was already in America, and then I went through a mutual friend that I met him.
How has being at UNCG, that whole experience, impacted you personally, do you think?
It's just helped me grow as a person, honestly. Being here, Greensboro is just a great city, and UNCG is a great school, and there's just so much opportunity to meet a lot of people, and it's just helped me a lot as a person to grow.
Michael, let me come back at you for a second. How would you, without embarrassing Heda, how vital has she been to your program's success? Maybe on and off field.
Oh yeah, well, I'll start with on the field. She is a tremendous soccer player. She's a gifted player. She's so well known in our conference and against the non-conference teams we play against because they have to scout her.
Oh yeah.
She's an exceptional soccer player. Off the field, she's a tremendous young woman, a fantastic teammate and a great student.
Great student.
So she fits checks all the boxes which we want to accomplish with
you
our
have
players.
to keep up your grades, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's important.
Are you going to tell us your grade? No, I won't ask you your grade. Well, Michael, what does the future of the soccer program look like?
It's very bright. You know, our team currently is exactly where I want us to be and where the players want to be. So I think moving ahead, we should continue to be challenging for championships. So the future is very bright.
Yeah, and I will mention again, you guys were national champions, last year, right?
Conference champions last year, and also the year before, 2017 as well. So we've gone back-to-back conference championships and played in the NCAAs 2 years in a row, which is
That's just
tremendous.
great.
Yeah.
Now, we mentioned at the top of the show, we showed a video, we spoke with Kim Ruckert about fundraising and the big fundraising campaign for athletics. Michael, what will that mean to you in terms of facilities? How is that going to help your program?
Well, our facilities are in a big need to get better. They're quite outdated. So the fundraising, when it's successful, is going to allow us to put in state-of-the-art, updated equipment to allow our student athletes to really work harder and reach their goals.
And attract more people like Heda.
Oh yeah, from a recruiting standpoint,
yeah,
for sure.
Heda, before we run out of time, what are your plans after graduation?
Moving back to Iceland, I'm going to continue playing soccer and start to work.
You don't play on the ice, do you?
No, we don't.
What would that be called if you played soccer on the ice?
Ice soccer?
Hockey? I don't know. On screen, UNCGSpartans.com. Check that out, and also SpartanClub.org. Please do that. You can donate. You can be interested for that information and support the Spartans. Great entertainment, the women's soccer program. Thanks for doing this, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back. In this special edition of Triad Today, as we salute UNCG's athletic programs, and we come down toward the end of the program, and I think it's appropriate that we have this very special gentleman with us, a champion himself, seated with me to help us talk about the big campaign and fundraiser going on. Next to me, George Hoyle. He's founder of Compass Financial Partners and co-chair for the UNCG Campaign for Champions. Also, he was a member of the 1987 national champion UNCG soccer team. And welcome to the program. Good to see you.
Thrilled to be here. Thanks for having me, Jim.
Before we get going, let's just get a plug in for what is Compass Financial Partners? What do you guys do?
Great. We do institutional retirement plan consulting, with companies all over the country, as well as private wealth management for individuals.
I'm so old. When you were looking, you said retirement, you were looking in my eyes like, here's a, yeah, I'm old.
It's never too late, Jim.
No, that's right. Now, this sounds like a weird question. I want to get to the campaign in a second, but I'm just curious. What was it like? What was going through your head when you were a national champion? I mean, when you won that game in '87 to win the national championship in men's soccer, what was that like?
It was a dream come true. It was a magical experience. I was very fortunate and lucky to be a part of it, to play for a legendary coach in Michael Parker. Amazingly, we actually won 5 national titles during the '80s in men's soccer.
Wow.
So it was a great tradition in history and great memories. Thanks for asking.
I don't think I ever asked you this before, in email or otherwise. Where were you born?
Grew up in Winston-Salem, actually, just a few miles down the road from here.
And was it the soccer program itself that attracted you to UNCG?
Actually, my sister was there, and she used to bring me to some parties on campus, so that was part of the attraction.
Yeah, my sister was there.
Full disclosure,
yeah.
But the soccer certainly was phenomenal.
What impact did UNCG, the years you were at UNCG, not just with soccer, but the whole experience, what impact did that have on your life and career, looking back on it?
It's great. It's amazing. Looking back, it's had a tremendous impact. And I can tell you, I wouldn't be where I am today were it not for that experience. Both the academics and the athletics, really put me on an amazing path. And for that, I'm forever grateful.
Why do you think, this has got to be strictly opinion, I mean, it's not a quantifiable thing, I guess, but there have been so many successes in the athletic program over the years, even when you were there, and of course recently, they're just gangbusters with all these championships. Why has it grown so much, and why such national prominence? How has all this happened?
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. It's been a sustainable effort over the years, but really you got to credit the leadership. Going back to the mid-'80s, under the chancellor then, William Moran, athletic director Nelson Bobb. Fast forward to today.
Nelson was a great guy.
Nelson was amazing, and he executed a plan that was unprecedented, going from Division III to Division I.
That's right.
Today, Kim Record is taking us to a different level, as well as the leadership as Frank Gilliam, a former student athlete himself. So everybody's on board, the campus, a lot of excitement on campus, faculty, staff, and students, and the community is really excited about it as well.
Now, why is the campaign for champions so important right now?
Twofold. One is, if you look at what's going on in college athletics today, there is a facility arms race out there right now. It's not only in the ACC and the SEC and the big conferences, but it's in the Southern Conference and across the board.
Who can have the bigger stadium? Who can have the best weight room? Who can?
Facilities, you got to have them. So, we have got to keep pace, and if we want to continue to lead and win championships, we've got to do it, and that's the direction we're heading.
And the final thing, you're a very busy guy, partnering the company and doing all these great things in the business world. But why would you want to take this on? Because that's a pretty tough job to be co-chair of a big campaign like this. Why did you want to do that?
I appreciate that. I do have a day job, but I'm very passionate about the university, the leadership, the mission. And it's humbling, and it's a great opportunity to give back, and hopefully some kids have the same opportunity that I had back in the day.
And so again, it's not just about sports and athletics, but you're proof positive of what that athletic environment, when it's done right, and the academic environment can turn you into somebody successful like you are. And you're a great role model and a great champion. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate that.
Up on screen, uncgspartans.com is a website you can visit. Also, spartanclub.org is something to take a look at. We'll be right back with final thoughts after this.
ACC sports fans, you found your home. The Sports Hub at AM 600, AM 920, and the Sports Hub app.
150 over 90.
180 over 111.
160 over 110. I had a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a stroke are far from invisible or silent. If you've come off your treatment plan, get back on it, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Well, that's all for this special salute to UNCG Athletics, but for more information, there are a couple websites I'd like for you to visit. One is uncgspartans.com. The other is spartanclub.org. For all of us here, Triad Today, I'm Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.